Hey. All right, Gypsy Gang, we are back, and we're back for round one of the Motocross Companion. Got Gypsy Tales producer Mick with us. Mick, g'day, mate.
Hey, mate. How are you?
Good, bro. Mick didn't get to watch the races this weekend because he was filming races, so we're going to bring him up to speed. He's watched the highlights package, which were quite good. 13 minutes on YouTube if you haven't watched them. But yeah, awesome weekend of racing at Hangtown. Some questions were answered, and we've got some questions too. So, firstly, before we get into the show, just a shout out to our sponsors. Firstly, the boys at Rival Inc. If you need to get yourself some new graphics, new plastics, or anything of that nature, anything that makes your bike sexy, you go to the guys at Rival Inc. RivalIncDesignCo.com. If you put in the promo code GypsyGang, you get 15% off, which works out to be quite a lot off a set of graphics. They've also got some... where's the logo? There. They've got some new merch stuff that they're doing, which looks rad, which is what you'd sort of expect from those guys. Also, the guys at MX Store, mxstore.com.au. Mick, have you bought much stuff from MX Store before?
Yeah, bought a little bit. They're my go-to.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty much everyone's go-to these days. They seem to have come in and done exactly what dirt bike riders needed them to do.
Make it simple.
Yeah, super easy. Yeah. So they obviously they're Australia's biggest online store, but they also have an office in Burleigh. A store in Burleigh, which is where their warehouse is. So I have gone in and bought stuff last minute for those guys when I need to ride. So yeah, they're helping us out with this show in particular, and also with the Screaming Eagle rebuild, the rebirth. It might have to be called the Phoenix from now on.
The rise.
Yeah, rising from the ashes. And as always, the guys from Boost Mobile, boost.com.au. You can go there to check out the best prepaid phone deals in Australia. And lastly, but certainly not least, the guys at Nobby Underwear. I busted out a pair of freshies last night for training. Felt good. There's nothing like the feeling of just popping a tag. And then, yeah, heading straight off to training. They always serve you well, the old Nobbies. So, all right, where should we start, Mick? What did you, I'm gonna throw this over to you, mate. We're gonna start the show with your thoughts on Hangtown. From what you saw, just of the highlights of, so not watching all of the racing, what did you take away?
Moto Sandbox. Something must be working there.
Yeah,
Kenny,
true,
AC,
actually.
Pretty nice. Obviously, there's been, the boys must have been training pretty well to come straight back into the outdoor season and looks so good. Both fellas, obviously AC and Ken, looked fantastic.
Chase Sexton looked pretty good as well.
Yeah.
I think he had like some little crashes and stuff like that, but I thought he looked awesome. What did you make of your man Tomac?
A few little things of inconsistencies there, but that's a Tomac thing. But when he was fast, really, really fast, but it wasn't, was it Hangtown 2015? Yeah. But the conditions were pretty crazy too. So he looked good though.
How's this one for you? Every year that Tomac has won the title, he's won at Hangtown. Didn't win the overall this weekend, did he?
No, he didn't.
I wonder what Ken got at Hangtown when he won the championship. I wonder if he won Hangtown. Can't remember. Yeah, so I guess if we kind of hook into the 450s, I think that first moto was obviously like dominated by Ken.
Yeah.
Eli didn't necessarily get like a bad start, I would say, to where I think that would have like affected him in the moto or anything like that.
No.
But yeah, Ken basically just rode away from everybody that moto. I'm just going to pull up the results here actually just to make sure exactly what everybody got. Yeah, so Ken Roczens 1-2, obviously he went, got a second in the second moto. He was out front again, and then Tomac just sort of found something. I wonder whether Ken getting second in that second moto was Eli outriding him or just really wanting to get the overall? Because obviously that was his first race win since his since the injury, obviously the injuries. He's won Triple Crown formats and, you know, things like that, but he hasn't won the actual overall, stood on the top step. So I wonder if he could have had more for Eli, because Eli really dominated that second moto. But yeah, you've got to kind of wonder if it was, if Ken needed that to get the overall, if it would have been different.
Yeah, like if this was coming down to the final round, if this was the final round, would it have finished like that as well? I don't know. I know listening to the post race press conference, talking about you know, how slippery, about how bad the condition was, how slippery it was, and to me it didn't sound like it was pushing to his max at that point, sort of thing. As I guess there's a bit of a safety thing come in that get that win, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and it makes sense to do that. Eli got fourth in the first moto, then got obviously got the win in the second moto. I had two big surprises for me this weekend, and not a surprise in the sense of I didn't think that they could do it. But Jason Anderson in going third, he went 2.5. He smoked, like he was smoking it in the first moto. Like he really rode through the pack, put some good passes on some good dudes. And then fifth in the second moto, but super rainy. It's so hard. Like, I don't think people get how gnarly those first couple of corners are in those starts of those mud races. Like, your entire race can be done in the first two turns, even if you're like starting third. You know, you can have these really unlucky breaks with like getting filled in so much that it ruins your roll-offs, or you can get a lot of mud in your gloves, or just like these little things like brakes, clutch levers, like things like that can sort of jack a moto. So I try not to read too much into mud races for that sense. You know, you can really see when guys are doing well. Like Ferrandis was a good example of that. Like everyone's like, I think, what did he get in the super wet moto? So yeah, he got fifth as well. And then everyone, like as soon as it started raining, everyone's going like, oh man, Ferrandis is just going to start charging through the pack. But you just don't know. So for me, that fifth was good enough to get Ando on the box. I think he said he's only been on the bike a few weeks. So just the fact that he is on the box after, like you said before when we were off air, like it was like a head scratching start to the Supercross.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, everyone's a critic, and every critic in the world was obviously he was defending the Supercross title, and he didn't come out of the box as fast as maybe he may have liked, or the competition was better. But he's come back from this, what looks to be really fit, healthy, and fast. So it's good to see.
And everyone sort of, obviously he's won the Supercross Championship. Dude, Ando's never won an outdoor overall in either class.
Really?
How crazy is that?
It is crazy to think.
But everyone sort of like pits him as a Supercross dude, and he's so good in Supercross. But like, dude, when he was in the amateurs, like he was the shit mode, like outdoors. So I think that, I honestly think that there's probably a bit of Ando that wants to make a statement outdoors. Yeah. And say like, no, look, I am an outdoors dude too.
And be right at that right time in the program. Obviously, you got to be at the right time, right fitness, right bike, and that as well. And obviously, things have worked out the last 2 years for him really well, definitely internationally. So
yeah, for sure. And then my next guy that was a huge surprise, and I mean, again, it wasn't a surprise of like I didn't think he could do it, but it was sort of like, again, the way that he did it was Zach Osborne. Obviously coming like the last couple rounds of Supercross were insane. Like he rode so well in those last couple of rounds, and I think that was him building into outdoors. Obviously he's an outdoor champion, but yeah, I mean, he was like top 20 in the start of the first moto, rode his way into fifth, and then he was third in the second moto, and again sort of rode himself into that third place. So yeah, I thought that was a really, really good ride for him. Another surprise, Marv was not. He went 7-4, so he didn't really look like he had anything for those top guys at all.
Yeah, and you know what I find interesting with that too is obviously the European influence. The guys are used to obviously a lot of wet conditions and things like that. You see Ken come through and the way he was right, a lot of standing up, bike control like that. That sort of Marv sort of thing as well, and it just didn't. It didn't reflect the pace that I would have thought that he'd have with his prior influence, I guess, you know?
Yeah, well, there was apparently he had a real bad practice crash before the race. So, yet again, another season where Marv's coming in at the first round, sort of undergun. He's in a weird spot, man. Like, I think that there's... he would already be asking questions now, but I think that... really, like, if this outdoor season doesn't start to go his way and he sort of emerges as, like, the top dog, I reckon he's going to really be asking some serious questions about his program. And because, like, would be the only dude that hasn't won a title under Alden. Dungy's won titles.
Yeah.
Ken won an outdoor title.
Yeah.
Ando has won titles.
Yeah.
And now Cooper has won titles.
Yeah.
So you've got 4 dudes that have all won titles with Alden and at the same facility, the same everything.
Yeah.
And Eli hasn't won anything. Marvin hasn't won anything. So it's like, the results are there as like, this is the best program that you could hope to be on, but it's not working for him.
Yeah, it's a tough one because bike.
Yeah, like it's all there. I don't think it could get better.
No, it doesn't. So, yeah, and obviously you've got a great rider. He's a fantastic rider.
Oh, yeah.
It's something that's, what is it, but yeah, you see it every season now. Like this is a few years in and it's the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. Barsha rode good. I thought he'd be better in the mud. That's kind of his thing. Blake Baggett, 6'10", which was all right. I sort of thought I'd see him a little bit further up. And then coming in ninth, Dean Ferris with 11.8 moto scores. What were your expectations of Dino? Before he
prior to that, definitely top 10. We've seen Dean over the past few seasons here succeed more than anybody in recent history. So I was expecting top 10 for the first round out. To be, Barsha to get 5th, Dean to get 9th overall. I think that's pretty good for your team up against your teammate. So obviously that'll be moving forward.
No, Barsha got 7.
7, sorry.
So 8-7 versus 11-8. So yeah, they're right on par.
Right on par against your teammate who's been riding with people of similar speed in the States forever. I thought it was pretty great, good result and something to build from. Yep.
Yeah, I was on my Nostradamus shit for that last little, I guess a little tutorial video where I thought that you would see Dean get in the top 10 overall, but I wasn't quite sure if he would get in the top 10 both motos. That's pretty much what happened. I think that, that first moto, him and Todd actually charged through the field. And it's so funny, man. I can't remember if I said it in that show, but I remember talking to somebody else saying, like, you watch Dean and Todd will be like with each other at some point. Because if you remember when Todd was on the podcast and he was talking about the fact, and then Dean said it as well, like I'd be 11th, he was 12th. And that's literally what happened this weekend. In Moto 1, it was 11-12. And I actually haven't spoke to Todd. I should have called him. But I think he went down at one point, but he said he rode, I saw on Instagram, he rode back from like 20th to get to 12th. So that was a really solid ride. But I think, honestly, man, like outdoors, Dean Ferris belongs in the States.
For sure.
I think that going forward, like, I don't know, like maybe there's not really much demand for like a motocross only dude, unfortunately. But at this stage in his career, at this stage in his career, I just don't know. Like we saw, he was riding really good at Supercross at Jimboomba before he crashed. But it's like at this point in your career, do you just triple down on your strengths instead of trying to split it up. Like, it is so hard for an Aussie to make a good run in the States, especially when you're, Dean's 30 or nearly 30, so it's like, should he just spend the last few years and be like a Mike Brown, John Dowd sort of dude that like really focused on the outdoors and made like a really solid run at it. But yeah, he looked great. He belongs in the US. I think that, him coming back and doing the full-time thing in Australia, like he's doing a disservice to himself, I think. Like, I think he's so, like he's just solid.
He's a great rider. And the only thing that's kept certain results from him is just bad luck of some injuries and stuff over overseas runs. So it's great to see him back over there, and the opportunity to get, obviously Yamaha, he's got a strong alliance with here. And obviously globally that's working as well. And it's good to see him get on a Yamaha, get on the bike that he probably wanted to be on. Yeah. And he's on great machinery, and from all words, he's fit and healthy. The knee's recovered from obviously his accident in MXGP. So it's good to see. Yeah,
and like it was cool because when he did the podcast, he was talking about wanting to stay with Yamaha, wanting to stay with Fox, because obviously he has such a good relationship with those guys. But yeah, so Justin Bogle went 10.9, kind of, I thought he'd be around there. And then Jake Masterpool, that was his debut, I'm pretty sure, went 13.11 for 11th overall. And then you had Todd 12.13. So, I mean, he beat Cole Sealy overall. He beat Ben LeMay overall. Freddie Noren, who's very experienced there. He beat Cody Cooper. Coop went 15 and then 40th. He DNF'd the second moto. But he was sort of right up there. Like, it was cool at one point in the first moto, there was Dean, Todd, and Cody like right there, sort of battling. So those guys rode through the pack together. But yeah, so Todd was awesome. Like, I thought that was like I said in the show before the weekend that I didn't think that you'd see him get in the top 10 both motos this first time out. But that wasn't like anything against his riding, or I think a lot of shit has to go right to get to get top 10s over there. And like, you look at the dudes that you're against. So, you've got to beat Bogle, you got to beat Ferris, you got to beat Baggett, you got to beat Barsha, you got to beat Marvin. So it's like, to do that, like, he basically rode through the pack to get to 12th. That's as high up as he got this weekend. So it's like, he's close to that top 10. But if you're not starting with those guys, then you're not going to beat those guys. Like, I don't think Todd is at the level where he's going to come through the pack and ride his way into the top 10. He's fast enough to be in the top 10. But that being said, I think that Bogle's not going to get a bad start and ride his way into the top 10 either. So I think he's right there to be a good, solid top 10 dude. He could go, 8-10 or 9-10 or 8-11 to be in the top 10. And I think that is like really good for him. But I just thought, probably a little bit too much would have to go right this weekend. He's going to have a lot of confidence from Hangtown. Yep. Like, he did extremely well. So I think that, Parla, really soft dirt, really rutted, super fast though. I know that some of the riders actually asked him to slow the track down.
Really?
Because it was like really fast.
Yep.
So it'd be interesting, that could play like right into his hands because he's a beast.
And the other thing I think with the Todd part, and you might know more than that than myself, but he wouldn't be on a factory package either. No. What he's got there, every other rider that's in that top 10 is on a factory bike. So, every 450 out of the box is a great package, but obviously suspension is one of the key things for it.
Yeah.
You have a look at, say, Anderson and Oddsporn's Husqvarna. The package that they'd have under him would be a total fairly different thing as well. So it's to be basically the first privateer bike as well. That's huge.
Yeah, well, you got Masterpool and him.
Yeah.
So Honda and then Husky. If you ask Todd though, he will honestly tell you, and he said this to me before he went, that Husky is better than the bike he raced in Europe. So it's like, and that was a full factory bike.
Wow.
So I think that these Huskies and KTMs are so good out the box these days that, like, a guy like Todd, he's like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I know that last year he got a lot of help with Showa while he was in the US. Obviously he'd be on like WP stuff, but I don't know. I wonder if that would help him out. I think tyres would make a big difference as well. Dude, why am I yawning?
It's my company.
Oh yeah, you're boring the shit out of me. No, I'm just a mess at the moment. Yeah, so I think that if he start, like, because you'll get the reps, like the Dunlop reps or Bridgestone or whoever's over there or Pirelli, they'll like see ya and they'll see what you're running, and then they'll be like, oh, do you want to run these tyres this weekend? So there's no like, they're at the races and they're just sort of handing them out. Yep. Like if you're cool with those Dunlop reps, you can be like a privateer and you can get factory tyres for the weekend.
Yep. And it's a huge part.
Yeah. But I don't know as much outdoors. I know Supercross is crazy for them. But yeah, so it's like little things like that, or, you might catch the eye of someone at KTM or Husky and then they might give you something. So I think that first round over there is always the hardest one. And then you build a little bit of momentum and that, a little bit of fruit on the bike, a little bit of confidence from the, training through the week. Yep. And then all of a sudden you are feeling like you can compete at that level. And
what a tough way to start. You go up to Hangtown in those conditions.
Yep.
What a season opener. It's like Anaheim this year.
Yeah.
That's a very tough season opener to start with.
And the track got rough.
Yeah.
Like there was some, I think Racer X posted a video on Instagram today of like the slowest pass for the lead in a race ever when Eli passed Ken in that second moto, and I totally believe that because it was just like they were just tiptoeing through it.
There's a section on the highlights package that I seen where I think it might have been when Ken maybe passed Eli, and Eli just pushed out of one of the ruts, and it basically sent him from the inside completely to the outside of the track, and you see him coming up the hill. He was hardly moving. It was so bad. So, yeah. Yeah, it was definitely it's a brutal track. Going into the lights, obviously AC goes 2-1. I wonder what I texted him after the race just to say well done, but we didn't talk about the race at all. But I wonder in that first race, because Justin Cooper was all over him. He was all over Justin Cooper, and he just couldn't make the pass. And I wonder whether that was just straight speed on Cooper's behalf, or if it was the track was kind of one-lined. I was curious to know, and I need to ask him. But yeah, he was just right there the whole moto. And then the second moto, when it was wet, he, top 3 start and just douched him. He rode away, and it was obviously an emotional win, because of everything that went down in Vegas. Obviously, sure. That's short time ago, isn't it now? So that was scary to watch. Not scary, but it was full on just to watch it's a comeback of sorts. It was good to see him sort of put that to bed. Yeah, and it was cool that him and Ken won on the same weekend. Yeah, for sure. Because I feel like they always go Ken will have a good weekend, Adam will have a crap weekend. Adam can't. They sort of. It seems like they never get to share in victory together, and they are so close. And it just seems like they're always seesawing a good and bad result. No, I know we've skipped on to 250s, but just something with the 452 with Ken, fastest qualifier overall. Just touch that. That's a great weekend, isn't it? Yeah. Start the season off. That's a big thing. So I wonder speed. I wonder the mental relief that he got from winning that overall, because I wonder it didn't feel like he made that big a deal out of it. I feel like everyone made more of a big deal out of it than he did. And I think he just really wants to win a Supercross race. I think that will be validation. Yeah. I don't think, he's a motocross champion. The crashes didn't happen in motocross. The monkey's not on his back as much there. Essentially he's won his first outdoor race since the crashes. So it's in my head, I'm super happy for him, but I don't really think that's what he wants. Yeah. I think he wants to win a Supercross race again. And it's he's been so Ken Roczens is the closest loser in Supercross history. Yeah.
Like that's a claim that he has in Supercross.
That's a sad one.
Yeah, and it's like, so I think he wants that more than he wants
the outdoors.
Yeah. I think like he's just like, yeah, cool. I never really had a problem there. But regardless, that was his first like overall win, first big old bonus check that is going to be coming his way. So Justin Cooper, really good. He's one of the dudes where he has like this like legendary practice track speed. Mm-hmm. Like he's the man.
Midweek man.
Yeah, he is the man.
Wow.
Like kills it at the practice track. Mm-hmm. But he's like young and a guy that goes that fast, sometimes crashes.
Yeah.
So I think that's sort of, where he has sort of sat. But yeah, really cool for him to get his moto win and then second overall. Colt Nichols was good. Dylan Ferrandis, we sort of spoke there. He got third in the first moto, then he got fifth in the second. Not really reading too much into that. I think he's going to be him and Adam fighting for the title again at the end of the year. I don't know. At this point, I don't really see anyone that would challenge that. That being said, Alex Martin, how heartbreaking for Alex Martin. So he got 40, he crashed in the first corner or whatever, or on the first lap, went down, was in 40th, pinned it for 30 minutes to get 23rd. So he didn't get a point.
Didn't even get a point.
So he's just cooked himself to not get a point. But then bounced back in the second moto to get second. So, I mean, we're looking at a different podium maybe if he, went 2-4 or something like that. So, yeah, I mean, Alex Martin, he's always been really good outdoors. He will be flying the flag for that JGR team because did Justin Hill even get in the Justin Hill didn't even get in the top 20 overall. That's bad. So I think he's the only hope for JGR. Chase Sexton went 4-6. So he looked, his style, man, like I love his style,
Chase Sexton.
Yeah. He's a pretty big dude too for a 250. But yeah, he looks awesome. I think that he might be a guy that would run up front as the season goes on. But yeah, I think we're looking at a AC Ferrandis championship battle. I think that, especially when it comes to like experience, I think they're probably like the only two dudes as well.
Yeah, I'd probably chuck Martin into the mix as a trio. But yeah, what you said there is my prediction as well, I think.
Yeah. So then 6 overall, RJ Hampshire, he went 6-7. Mick Mosman, he rode really well, just a couple crashes, and then Alex Martin 8th overall with a 23rd. It's pretty cool. Shane McElrath, Christian Craig, thought Christian Craig would do better. Hunter Lawrence was a bit of a surprise for me. I really thought he was going to do better than what he did. He went 11-12. He had that crash in the first moto where he kind of like, I think RJ Hampshire rode past and ripped his ass open. So that's not the way you want to start the season. But he actually rode back from that, and I thought that might be him outside the top 20, but he rode back to get 11th. And then we go down to our boy Willie Todd. So Wilson went over there, pulled together a bit of a privateer deal. I'm not sure if Tyler Keefe is helping him out. He's obviously a Troy Lee dude through Lusty in Australia. Mm-hmm. And then, so they got him a KTM. I'm pretty sure that's who it's through. And then he went 15-9. I don't know what happened in the first moto. I'm pretty sure he went down in the first one. But in the second moto, he come like through the pack to get 9th too. He looked amazing. And I think that Parla is really going to suit him. Like you want to, like I was saying, a dude that just wants to go fast. Wilson Todd is like the new Ford Dale.
Damn.
Like if Ford Dale went to the States, he should have just got up and left because that dude was so fast. Like he would just click gears and not worry about it at all. Like just wedged. And Wilson Todd is like that. So I think that, you know, if what they're saying about how fast Parler is true, then he's going to do some serious damage. So, and then, from there, Garrett Marchbanks, Ty Musterpool, he did good. That was his rookie ride, 12-14. Davalos, Derek Drake, Jordan Smith, Kyle Peters. So that's sort of the top, that's your top 20. Not crazy deep. I think once you get to like 15, 13th, there's sort of not a lot going on. What's interesting on the whole Wilson Todd situation is that, what's his name? Oh, Mitchell Falk broke his collarbone in the first or second moto, and he needs surgery. So he's going to be out for a little bit. So if I'm Tyler Keefe, and best believe I'll be texting him this, I'm giving Wilson Todd Mitchell Falk's bike, because Wilson Todd is the kind of guy that could bust out a fifth in this series. Like, he could get a top 5. So there's a seat there. He's already in the gear. He's already on the bike. I just think slide that straight in.
Yep.
And with the rumors going around about DPH, which I don't want to get into because I don't know much about them, but there is rumors about DPH, and I wonder if it's worth, if that stuff is true, I wonder if it's worth Wilson staying in the US this year. I mean, he's winning the championship here, but it's like, I don't know what you'd like. Would you rather do a full season of outdoors when you're primed and ready to go? You've been racing, you've got the red plate in Australia. Like, it'd be a huge ballsy move to piece out on the Australian series. But like, man, that's your future, like he should have been in Europe this year, and he made a bit of a mess of that, with visas and stuff like that. But it's like, dude, he could really do some damage in the US, and to get like 9th, a top 10 in the lights class on your first go around, it's pretty solid.
And if you can step into a wild card ride on that bike, it'd be hard to come home.
And it's like, I don't know, is it worth it? Is a title in Australia worth turning down? And this is all just hypothetical, but it's like, say they go, Wilson, Falk's not going to be back till Redbud. We'll give you his bike until Redbud, and then after that, we'll figure something out and you can sort of stay under the truck. It's like, is that chance worth more than a championship in Australia? Because it's like, just because you win a championship here doesn't guarantee you a ride in the US, right?
No, it definitely doesn't.
It almost used to. Like with Reardon, with Mossy, those guys, but they shit the bed in the States. And now those guys, I think, are responsible for people not wanting to touch these young Aussie kids now. And like, look at Ferris. The dude wins 3 in a row in Australia. The man. Not like he just won 3 championships. Like, he was the man. Like, pretty much undefeated for 3 years. Doesn't guarantee him a ride anywhere. So it's like, you think you're going to win one lights title and then start knocking on some doors to the States. And it's like, big picture too. Like, how long do you want to race in Australia for? It's like everyone's trying to get out. Like, Mitch Evans is over there. The Lawrence boys left before they even turned pro here. Todd went to Europe. That's where they want to be. So it's like, again, what are you winning a championship in Australia for? Are you winning it to try and get a ride? Are you winning it to get paid? Like, I don't know. If I'm Wilson and they put me on that bike for these next 2 rounds or whatever, and it goes well, you might not be seeing me back here, especially in a team that people are saying is sort of having some dramas.
So you're telling me you wouldn't like to go back to Gympie?
I don't think you'd see me at Gympie.
Huh?
Is that the next round?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you'd see me. I think I'd be skipping Gympie and racing wherever. You name it. Let's go to Millville instead.
Yeah.
But it's like, damn, dude, like, you go out there and you get a 9th in your first, you get 15 in the first one, which I'm pretty sure he had an issue, and then you get a 9th in the second moto. in that field. So like Shane McElrath got 8. So there you go. So Shane McElrath would be Wilson's teammate at Troy Lee. Then who got 7th in the RJ Hampshire, Horizon winner, Chase Sexton, the East Coast Lights winner, and then Dylan Ferrand. Like if you're going 9th and then you're around that company to go like into the top 5, like you're doing really good, dude. Christian Craig, Factory Honda Vet, got 10th in that one. Mick Mosman, Factory Husky, 11th. So it's like, look at the dudes that he's rolling around. And it's like, that's just his first go on a privateer bike. It's like, you give that kid a racehorse. Yeah, he's a legit chance. And I thought he was a chance before this weekend. And now I'm like, dude, you could get the top 5. Like, for sure you could get a top 5. So it's like, and you just don't know what a kid like him is capable of. And you look at what Mitch is doing in the GPs. Yeah. So Mitch and Wilson are the same age. They race together 50s, 60s, 80s, 125. Like those boys at every single club day was the battle for the Australian national junior title in Cairns. Right. Those two, it was they were the ones that won them. That was it. So every single weekend, those two dudes race each other. So that's sort of it was. I was always really curious as to how that would go when they turn pro. And like, look at what we're seeing now. Like Mitch just got on the podium in the GPs again. Second podium. So it's like just taking stock of what Wilson's sparring partner his whole life is doing in Europe. Like Wilson's capable of that as well. Like, you know, and there was a lot of times where Wilson was beating Mitch like for a lot of years. So I don't know, man. That's a real wild card, dude. That I think that, you know, with Falk getting hurt, this could be like a little fairy tale kind of deal. And then, you know, you've got Falk getting hurt, the DPH thing, the top 10 at his first weekend out. So it's like, I don't know. This feels like a recipe.
Planets aligning.
Yeah, it does. It does feel like that, eh? So, but yeah, so then that's really it from there. What else? We got some points here.
Big thing for me was that, in the 250s was just the gates of those Yamahas.
Dude, they're fast, eh?
Just out of the gate was phenomenal.
They're doing some good stuff. The old Yamis in that lights bike especially. What do we get on here? There's so Falk is out with a broken collarbone. So he's undergoing surgery. You could tell too, man. It's crazy. You can just tell when a collarbone has been done. There's a Racer X article, which is kind of cool. Like we can just touch on some of these topics. There's a Racer X breakdown Hangtown. So if anyone wants to read this, you can sort of get on there and have a look for yourself. I think, Jason. This is Jason Thomas's opinions, which I'm never like that much a fan of, to be honest. No, nah, I don't know. It just seems like he comes at it from a weird spot some days, but he's super insightful. Like he knows his shit. It wasn't hot or super rough at the opener. I disagree. I think it was fucking rough. Ken Roczens did great. Did he answer any questions about his physical condition? Yeah, that is interesting because he still said that he wasn't like feeling very good. Like I don't think Ken expected to win that. I wonder though if that is just a sign of muscle memory of these dudes. Like when you get out front of a moto like that, it's just like it just kicks into autopilot.
Just flows, just happens. Yeah, it's maybe so. Like if he's not fit to be fastest qualifier and win the overall, I'd hate to see him when he's like super incomplete 100% physical shape.
Yeah, it's weird that one. Like because I don't know. Was I telling you that they think that it's something to do with the lime from San Diego?
No.
Yeah. So they're thinking that he's got some kind of like Lyme infection because you can get Lyme's disease. Like, have you ever had a Lyme's disease?
From ticks originally, like it can be. Yeah.
So I wonder if there's like some weird shit going on with the like the Lyme. But they're saying like because he got infected and And then he got some sort of like blood infection from it. Because they're like fully searching for answers, eh? It's crazy.
It is crazy to
Imagine that, dude, if it was from San Diego.
Yeah, that'd,
I would be pissed.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was so cool to see him get that win. He was pumped when he came over that finish line. But yeah, I still really think that the San Diego thing is what... the Supercross thing is what he wants.
He needs.
Yeah, he needs to get that. Were you surprised that Adam Cincerello was able to bounce back from Vegas so quickly?
No, I look at the speed that he carried through the whole season. He's fast. He's always going to be fast.
Yeah, he looked like he was on another level, eh?
Yeah,
in
for
Supercross.
Sure. He did.
Well, he was on another level.
He really was. And, you know, I was at the motocross obviously all weekend and a few people talking about it. It's been ages since you've seen a bike banged up, like the bars bend, and like that was a freak thing that happened at Vegas, you know, as such. I wasn't surprised to see him come back like that because he was on another level all year. Yeah,
I totally agree. Like you can see, man, you can just see like every lap on a practice track, he's just doing shit that looks different.
Yep.
He looks different to the other guys. He looks so much better. And you know, you see guys that get on that level. You see like Ken Roczens, you see Eli Tomac, you saw Villapoto.
Yeah.
You know, Dungey never looked as good as what AC does. You know?
Yeah.
In terms of just like the pure way they ride the bike. Ando's another guy. You're just like, you are on another level.
And you go to these places and see them. You can even close your eyes and hear it. You can hear the bike. You can hear it, how much more that certain bike or car, depends what sport you're into, but you can hear someone that's a different level. You really can.
Yeah, dude, for sure. And you know what else you can hear, especially at these nationals, is the thudding on the braking bumps.
Yep.
Like, dude, the guys, they go so fast that you can literally hear their bike on and hitting the braking bumps.
Yep.
And it's like, you know, they're the details where it's like there's some guys, they're coming through and you can hear the chain slapping or whatever, but you're just not hearing. And if you stand on the inside of a massive turn, like at Red Bud or something, and they've got, you know, it's down the hill and they got the braking bumps coming down, you can feel the difference between some of those guys, like just the intensity that they hit those bumps. So, and I think that, he's one of those dudes. And I shout out to his little golf reference, the most important ones. The most important shot you take's the next one.
Nice reference.
Yeah, that's like probably Jack Nicklaus or something like that. Ferrandis wasn't able to move forward in the mud. He lost the spot late. Any cause for concern? I don't think the mud sucks.
It's like a wild card, isn't it?
Yeah, it can just get you. You can get super lucky. Like I remember having mud races where I like barely used the tear off.
Yep.
And you do a 20-minute moto at like a sunny state and it's in the mud. Like at Coolum one year was like that. Pulled the tear off at the start and then that was it. Like you can navigate, you can ride, like you can sort of cruise around, stay out of people's roost. The rain sometimes will be falling heavy enough that big thick drops that just like sort of peel off your goggles.
Yep.
So it's not even like that misty stuff that sort of doesn't go away.
Terrible mist.
Yep. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. Sometimes you can get real lucky or other times you can just get completely jacked. And that first time you come around the first turn, it fills in the space between your goggles, gets mud in it, and then that runs down into your face. Like, I don't know. It's just such a just roll the dice. What are you going to get? And I think that, you know, you don't know with these guys, like, unless you really asked them. But it's like, could easily just be like, I just couldn't see shit.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And like, everyone listens to this probably rides, you ride. Vision
is everything.
Yeah. It really is. So.
And think about it too, dude. Like, if, the question before is like, are you surprised AC bounced back? Well, like, no. He's had 2 weeks to, like, obsess over winning again and proving to everybody and like what's Ferrandis done? He's been drinking, you know what I mean? Like he's been celebrating his first championship, you know, and it was only this season he got his first win. So it's already been like this mind-blowing fairy tale scenario for Ferrandis. So it's like, dude, I'm eating cake if I'm Ferrandis. So like, F Hangtown.
Like that article sort of says too. Like, is it a worry? No, bring it 2 weeks time or whatever. When his head's back in the game properly.
We'll see him at Parlour.
It'll be back.
Yeah.
He'll be back. So there's no doubt there.
Yeah, for sure. They're saying like, what's it like going from dry? Yeah, whatever.
Good for pro circuit too. Like that was that was cruel. Like any sports fan, like you see something like that's hard to see. So it was good for them to get out and get the win, I thought too.
It's been a hard few years for them, man.
Yeah.
Zach Osborne's second moto didn't get a lot of attention, but he rode really well. So this is how gnarly it was, dude. He was 16th at the end of the first lap in the second moto.
Damn.
And then he moves all the way up to third. Savage. Like, that's a Tomac style ride.
For sure. First year on outdoors on a 450.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So I think, sorry everybody, far out. I'm doing too much. No. So I think that I can really, really see like multiple podiums this year being like Eli, Ken and Osborne just jumble it up. Like, I think he's going to turn out to be one of the most solid dudes in the field.
I'll ask something. What about Webb?
Who cares? He won the Supercross series, bro.
He's partying as well.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, KTM doesn't care.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like at some point it'll kick in again for him, but like, who cares?
Yep.
Who cares? If I was him, I'd just rock up at A1 with an number 1 plate and be like, hey, bitches, how was your summer?
Yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah, I did nothing. What'd you do?
Yeah.
Oh, you busted your ass for another 12 weeks.
You've been training in Florida. I've been holidaying in Florida.
Dude, for sure. I've been in Florida. Well, a little bit east of Florida. I've been in the Bahamas. Yeah, I don't know. Like, dude, imagine how hard it would be to win the thing that you've wanted to win your entire life. Most people don't even have a thing they want to do for their entire life. No. Like, imagine at 4 and you go, I want to be a Supercross champion.
Yep.
And then at 25, it's like, shit, I did it. I'm a super, like, that'd be weird, man.
Where do you come from? Where do you go from that?
Yeah, like that's a weird headspace to be in, I reckon. And then to go like straight back, like wipe the slate clean. Like, in theory, yeah, like you should, new season, new challenge, new this, but whatever.
Yeah, things sound good in theory.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
chilling if I'm, and same for Ferrandis, but like the lights title is never going to mean as much as that 450 title.
Yep.
Like that 450 title is 9 people since, Ian Harrison said it in Motorsport.
Yeah, it
was like 9 people since like 98. Or something, 92.
95 or 92, yeah. Yep.
Something crazy. 9 people have held that trophy.
Yep.
9 people. Get out of here.
That's nothing.
Like, you win that, like, yeah, it's insane to do that. So, like, and then to turn around 2 weeks later and start at 0 points against 40 dudes, like, no, thanks, man. Like, the mental toll. Nobody had to deal with as much pressure throughout Supercross as what Cooper did.
No.
Like, that mental toll that it would have taken on him to keep it together. Like, did Cooper crash all season?
Gee, I don't think so.
I don't think he did, bro. I don't think he went down in one first turn. I don't think he tipped it over. He barely made a mistake.
Like, if we're wrong, we're going to get a comment on YouTube probably, but I don't think he did.
I don't, like, I honestly can't remember him crashing.
Yeah.
So it's like, the mental, like, the focus that he must have, like, channeled into that season to not tip over, to not crash, to not go down in the first turn. Like, all of those things where it's like you make your own luck. Like, that's what making your own luck means. Like, you're not crashing. You're not doing dumb stuff. And it's like he avoided everything. That is, like, unbelievable laser focus. And then to just turn around 2 weeks later, like, man, the dump that he must have experienced after winning that title, like the relief, like it would have felt like someone had been sitting on his chest for 17 weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, again, outdoors. What's outdoors? Give me Anaheim, baby. What's going on with Thomas Covington? I didn't really pay too much attention to his return back to the States. I'm sure he'll go good at some point. Did you expect Anderson to be that good? No. But I knew he can be. You know, I just didn't think that it would come back that quick. Yeah,
but that was quick. Yeah.
Yeah, he killed it. Yeah, what happened to Marv? So we've kind of been over a bunch of this stuff. All right, this is for you, Mick. What conclusions can you take from round one?
I think it's going to be a tight, probably 4 for the 450s. I think obviously Anderson is going to be there, and before the weekend I probably wouldn't have picked it. Everyone knows he's really quick and everything, but coming from injury, it takes a while to build into things, but it doesn't seem like he had to. So Anderson, Tomac, Ken, and probably Marv would be, if I'd be saying who we're going to be battling for 4. Marv wasn't there this weekend as much as he probably should be, but I think it's going to be pretty close between those 4. And obviously you're saying Zach as well. So
yeah, I honestly think that Eli, Ken, and Osborne are going to be like the ones that are going to go at it. I'd reckon you're going to see Dean start to creep into that top 5.
Yeah.
Pretty consistently. But yeah, so I mean, to do that, Ando and Osborne, like he's in good company to be there.
Yeah, definitely.
But he's going to be playing that Dungey role. You know, he'll start, I think if he can start to get his starts figured out and just be solid for 30 minutes. Like he won't care what goes on around him, and I think will be like that sort of solid guy. But in terms of, the top 3 dudes, it'll be, I think for me it's like Ken, Eli, and Osborne, and I think Ando will be up there a lot as well. I wonder though, like, you know, Ken was good this weekend, but with this whole like sickness, mysterious illness, like it wasn't hot this weekend, so the heat wasn't a massive factor, the humidity. So it's like, I wonder, once this grind, like he's fresh off 2 weekends off, right?
Yep.
So it's like, did we see Ken do so well because like he wasn't run down from the weekend? Now, like he hadn't had to travel a lot. So now you're going to go back to the traveling. You're going to go back to the 30-minute motos every weekend. It's going to get hotter from here. So I wonder, obviously Ken looked amazing at the first round, but it was cold. He'd had a couple weeks off to recover.
Fresh.
Yeah. So I wonder, once we get into the grinder this season, if we're going to see Ken be there as much, if he's still sick. I think far out. I think Osborne's going to be a dude that he's just a grinder dude. Like, I think that he will grind out this outdoor season, and that's why I really, really think that he will be there as one of those top 3 dudes.
Do you know? And I don't. It's not a loaded question. Do you know where's Savachi?
I don't know. Did he get? Oh, he got hurt when he crashed in front of Ken.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, he hurt his shoulder.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Yep. So not a loaded question.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering if he's around or what.
No, he I'm pretty sure his shoulder got cooked. What else? Anything else you want to talk about, mate?
Yeah, I seen a thing, and obviously MX Store. I seen a thing on their Insta the other day. What did you think of Tomac's gear?
What
he had sort of a turquoisey Alpine Star gear.
I'm gonna look up their Instagram. Was it on MX Store's Instagram?
Yeah, it was. Oh, I think it was a story, so it's probably gone now. There's a vote. I was just wondering what you thought of it yourself.
I'll have a quick squizzy.
It's a pretty fresh looking gear getting out for the outdoors.
I think Alpine Stars is just killing it in general, to be honest.
Yeah.
I freaking love that new helmet. See what's on their story now. Nope. Oh, yeah, here it is. What did you think of Eli Tomac's custom Alpine Stars kit? I can put that in the I want category. I'm going to click on that. At MX Store, if anyone wants to go and enter that. I'm feeling that gear. Yeah, I love, like, that helmet looks sick too. I really like it. Maddie's got one. They sent Maddie, my brother, one from Italy actually. The Alpine Stars dudes, because they're like tight with Toby.
Yep.
So he's had one for ages, but I don't think that, because helmets are kind of like subjective these days. Yeah. I think they're so fitting to your head these days that like some fit and others just have like a weird shape. But I said I think he said it didn't really fit him that good. but it fit me. I really like it. Dude, I love the, just trolling the Instagram. I love that Fox zebra gear.
Yeah?
Yeah. Are you not a fan?
Not so much.
Really? I love that shit, dude.
I do like the grey shift gear that they did for the final round.
The grey shift gear.
I think I didn't see Hunter Lawrence on the weekend what he wore, but I think Geico Honda team is has been running it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, here it is here. Yeah. MX Store just coming up with the goods already.
Looks good.
Dude, that gear looks sick.
I think that looks good.
Oh, I'll put this over the video. This gear looks dope, dude. Damn, yeah, I'm feeling that.
I think that's probably at the moment probably my favourite gear.
Isn't it weird that grey gear can look that good?
It's crazy. Yeah.
Like that's about as boring as it gets. Like what you'd think, dude. That looks legit.
Yeah.
I'll put that over the top of this video. No shit. Oh yeah, they got a video on it too. I'll play that shit. Oh, it's got Twitch in the video. I wonder if it's like signature to him. Because I know that Bell just did a Twitch helmet.
Oh, did they?
I want to get him on the potty one day. He's the funniest dude ever. Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I'm into that Fox gear, dude. The zebra stuff looks so legit. Feeling it. All right, anything else you want to talk about?
No, mate, I'm good.
All good? Just under an hour. Smacked it out. Well, thank you very much to everybody for listening as always. Thank you to our sponsors, Rival Inc., MX Store, Nobby Underwear, and Boost Mobile. You can hit all those guys up on the gram. Let us know if you've signed up to any of them or bought any of the products. I love hearing happy stories. We are getting close to the new studio, which means we're getting close to doing the live companions. I don't know that we'll be doing them live at 6. I don't know. Maybe
it's pretty early on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, it's pretty early. But maybe we'll do like live second motos. Because I think they're sort of going by like 8:30. So maybe we'll do that and then do like a recap of the first motos. But yeah, so tons of cool stuff coming from the new studio. Tons of cool guests. It's just, we're going to be able to do like a lot more stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. But regardless, we'll be doing these motocross companion shows throughout the season. They're always a good time. We'll try and sort of step them up a little bit for you. Mick, thanks for making the ride down.
Cool, man. No worries.
Hopefully the weather's not too bad going home. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel if you've got that. We're sort of getting up there. That's been cool working on that. At Gypsy Tales Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. Shoot us a message if you've got any questions. Actually, you know what? In the Gypsy Tales Podcast, I don't like doing questions. But if you've got any questions for Mick or myself, they don't even have to be motocross related. Let's say that. If you've got any questions, send them through on a DM to the Instagram. And then we will answer those on this show because I think, it's cool. Would be cool to do some questions from listeners. I just don't like doing them in Gypsy Tales for whatever reason.
Cool.
But yeah, thanks, East Mick. We'll get this up soon and looking forward to Parla. Dude, Parla I'm going to be very interested because that is a track that these dudes ride a lot. So I always find that interesting. And, you sort of, I don't like Glen Helen when they, like everyone rides Glen Helen all the time too, but it never feels like it gets like the specialists.
Yep.
Like Josh Grant will always do real good there or whatever, but it never feels like you get like that one, like Dowd at Southwick.
Where it just a standout.
Yeah, but I feel like Parla could be one of those rounds where it's like someone's really going to shine at Parla. But, I mean, I don't know who that would be. But, like, I watched Mitch Falk ride at Parla one day and I was just like, Jesus Christ. Like, what? And Jeremy Martin was the same before he turned pro. Jeremy Martin in summer at Parla one day wore a black hoodie and a weight vest.
Jeez.
And did 2 30-minute plus 2-lap motos. And this was before Loretta's. He wasn't even pro yet.
Commitment.
That's like the mindset of some of these dudes. Like if you want to know what it takes to be good at motocross, you got to be a psychopath.
Yep.
But yeah, there's like, I don't know, you get those guys, some of those dudes are just so good at Parla. It'll be like a Mitch Falk or a Justin Cooper. You know, guys that just do so many laps out there.
And I think this will be a round where we'll see. Yeah, first round, there's always things happen. You'll start to see the consistency. It'll level out. Yeah, for sure.
Sweet, man. Well, cheers. Thanks again for coming. Thanks again for doing this. And yeah, we'll see everybody soon.